In our previous journey, we traversed the entire lands between beneath the radiant light of the Erd Tree, bearing witness to the ebb and flow of eras as heroes ascended and faded into legend. And now, with the release of the Shadow of the Erd Tree DLC, we embark on a new voyage into an uncharted world, the Realm of Shadow. This land veiled in darkness, marked by an ancient tower of an once savage culture, is now consumed by unrelenting flames. Embers and ashes intertwine to weave in desolate landscape. Here, no sanctuary of gold nor the illumination of grace can be found. Only the scattered tree drips with nectar as rich and thick as blood. Let us now turn our gaze from the guardians of order to a demigod who wields the power of destruction, a Crusader commander wreathed in the caustic flame of base serpent leads a war devoid of honor. An abandoned son keeping vigil over the homeland where the mother's return is but a memory. Prepare to come, Mesmer the impaler. The whole story of Elden Ring begins in the scheduled Shaman village, nestled behind the Shadow Keep. At its heart stands the minor Erd Tree, and before the matriarch's tomb lies the golden braid of both, which can confirm this village as the birthplace of the eternal Queen Marika. Pelarot culture, shamans are regarded as materials for purifying sinners. The new DLC weapon Tooth Whip states, as the wounds ripen, they grow in flame and ooze pus. The flesh of shamans was said to meld harmoniously with others. The ghost outside of the Bonnie village also whispers, "For pity's sake, your place is in the jar. Night sainthood itself awaits you within. For shamans like you, this is your lot. Life were you accorded for this alone." Although their father remains shrouded in mystery, Mesmer and Melina are unquestionably Marika's children, much like Melina and Miquella. These siblings hold powers beyond the Golden Order. The remembrance of the Impaler offers a chilling testament to this. A malevolent snake writhed within Mesmer, a theme well demonstrated in his battle. The serpent imagery is particularly intriguing in DLC, with one scene standing out, a serpent slough located outside the Bonnie village. It is quite large and within sight of base serpent Mesmer, suggesting it may be a wreckage from his early years. Bonnie village is renowned for its pottery, bearing the remnants of extensive persecution against shamans. As a descendant of these shamans, it is likely that the young Mesmer was captured by the Horn Sense, stripped of his molt, and perhaps subjected to even more brutal abuse. This is reflected in the model of base serpent Mesmer, accompanied by a scaled winged serpent. Even himself has a great deal of missing skin. In the game, all shamans within the living jars appear as long-haired females. Considering Hornson's intentions, it assumes that Mesmer may had an androgynous appearance in his youth. Moreover, under a tree not far from the shed, players can obtain the gesture, "O Mother," kneeling down and arms raised. This posture is the very key to access the Shaman village. It symbolizes a plea for redemption, echoing the torment Mesmer faced and the enduring pain that shaped his destiny. The land of shadow is littered with spikes and corpses, with the name and deeds of Mesmer the impaler serving as a symbol of the Crusader. This draws inspiration from the hysterical figure Vlad III, who nailed the bodies of enemies on stakes in his valiant resistance against the Ottoman invasion. While implement was prevalent throughout medieval Europe and Asia, here it is more of the rhetorical retaliation from the past ordeals inflicted upon Mesmer. Mesmer's armor records his state of mind in leading to crusade, Mesmer himself made a symbol of fear, direct by melodications, thine ear, and thy grief toward me alone. This clearly illustrates he is ready to bear the weight of all of his actions. Despite his ruthlessness toward the enemies, Mesmer is exceedingly generous to his own men. This is evident not only in the well-furnished camps, but also in the fervor of his army's battle scenes. The fire serpent mentions when the flame they received from Mesmer, clearly they are granted for a gift. Also, according to Mesmer, fire, grease, and fire and coal. Fire was a symbol of the crusade, and even Mesmer rank and file soldiers would wield it. Additionally, we can find the military dogs clad in the fire around those camps, further indicating what he offers all Crusaders could enjoy. So far, the method of bestowing is not described in game, but judging by intact armor of Mesmer's troops, this rite is probably done in a more intimate manner. Near castle front, players can collect the unique material, Ember of Mesmer, where it flows directly from the flame-filled demigod. Similarly, black pyrify can also be found inside the camps, areas conspicuously free of conflict. Described as flies in war-torn lands that have been sourced by Mesmer's flame, these pyrifys could be a silent testimony to the locations where this ancient rite took place, hinting at secrets and passions long forgotten. On the other hand, the Fire Knights showed unparalleled loyalty to their lord. As noted in the appointed home, each and every knight hailed from renowned family of the Erdstreet upper echelons, but were stunned and chased from their homes after pledging allegiance to Mesmer as their master. But still, their devotion remains unbroken. Moreover, their equipment slightly increases maximum HP, stamina, and maximum equip load. This effect mirrors the Ring of Favor from Dark Souls 3. In the Japanese version, the ring's description reads, "The goddess Favor has fickle nature like an elusive butterfly, perfectly fitting Mesmer the demigod with his own emblematic butterfly motive." Furthermore, Mesmer's kindness extended even to those traitors. In this DLC, there are 2 new spirit ashes added to our collection. Black Knight Commander Andreas and his son Captain Hugh, who once served Mesmer. Their shared inscription reveals a tragic tale after discovering the malevolent truth of Mesmer fire. The father-son duo led and failed rebellion and met their end. Yet their ashes are placed in Falgriff Catacombs and Scorpion River Catacombs, enough to sum up their master's magnicity. What's more, Hugh's Spirit Ash contains an extra line unveiling a hidden sentiment of his former master. Mesmer mourned the loss of a brother in arms. Most noble among Mesmer's followers is none other than Lady Relena, the Twin Moon Knight. She willingly devoured her birthrights to stand by Mesmer's side. However, she remains in Ensis Castle, never stepping close to the Shadowkeep. Perhaps her adoration for Mesmer cannot bear to witness the feast of lust. Another interesting fact lies in the distinct armament of the Mesmer soldiers stationed in Ensis Castle. Unlike their counterparts outside, these soldiers only rely on fire pots instead of Mesmer fire. This is furthest proof that Lady Relena strictly forbids those soldiers in her castle from participating in the bestowing rite. Despite the numerous revelations about the past of the world were given by the DLC, one character is conspicuously missing: Godwin the Golden. There is no other trace of him despite of his Death Knight guarding his face in the catacombs. A closer inspection of the new item information might reveal this hidden answer. The Dark Knight armor mentions that they were once Godwin's personal guard. Besides seeking the remains of their lord, they may have another purpose as written in the Death Mask. Helm of Wego, elder among the Fire Knights, gnawed at the loneliness, the old man turned his attention to the spiritually of Mesmer's flame, using it in a rite of resurrection. Wego was once granted Mesmer fire, is able to resurrect soulless corpses. Perhaps it will emerge even greater power than Deathbed Companion when Mesmer lying by Godwin's side. Some dead knights haunt underground near the coffins of Andreas and Hughes as bosses, probably in search of a vulnerable underbelly to get a hold of the formidable demigod. If we look close to Mesmer's model, his armor is a resemblance ancient Roman style with far less plating compared to other demigods. The chestplate covers only a small front area under his cloak. The shorter skirt and waist armor leaves a large gap underneath, making it not only easier for the winged serpent to move around, but also less burdensome for the carnal festivities. Notably, only Malekith shared a similar style. Malekith, who happened to be a shadow of a god, who also abandoned by Marika. We will return to his story in the future. Beneath the armor, we will find the winged serpents are not mere attachments to Mesmer's body, but rather pass through his chest into flesh. This metaphor evokes the imagery from Silent Hill 2, where Angela's nightmares are filled with holes, implements, and writhing snake-like flesh, all carry strong innuendo. The serpent, known for its hibernation, may find a fitting slumber in the dark chamber where Mesmer's boss battle locates. The heavy curtains and flickering candles provide a perfect ambiance for a sound sleep. A flame knight guards the doorway, discerning every warrior who comes thirsting for solace. There, he lies in deep repose atop the Shadow Keep, behind the dark veil, waiting for the next intruder who dares to enter.